Hello, everyone. I am here, C. Scott Brown from Android Authority here at Galaxy Unpacked in New York with some super fun new devices. We have the Galaxy Z Fold 6 as well as the Galaxy Z Flip 6. I have this is like the baby blue color here for the flip, and then the silver color for the fold. So yeah, I'm going to give a few minutes here just to get people into the chat here asking questions. I have these two devices with me here at this live stream. But I've also experienced all the other devices that Samsung launched today, which includes the Galaxy Ring, the Galaxy Watch 7, the Galaxy Watch Ultra. So if you have any questions about those devices, I can answer them, or I will do my best to answer them, I should say. But I actually physically have these two devices with me, so I can actually show you things or find out things that maybe you're asking about that I don't know off the top of my head. I can just power on the phone here and tell you what's going on. So yeah, I'm really excited about the devices that Samsung's launched today. The phones look great. I love the new flat sides. The design looks great. Um, and I'm excited about a lot of the Galaxy AI features that are incorporated into this. I love the ring. The ring was incredible. I don't know if you've already watched the video that we have on that, but please be sure to check that out. I go over all the questions that you could possibly want to know about the Galaxy Ring in that video. And then the Galaxy Watch 7 and the Galaxy Watch Ultra. The Galaxy Watch Ultra, I'm a little iffy on. I think it's way too expensive for what you get, especially when the Galaxy Watch 7 offers pretty much all the same features for about half the price. But I'll get into that as we get into the live stream here. But yeah, so let's get started with some questions from people that are hanging out with us. So let's jump in here. Okay, so immediately I see one here from Viali who says S24 Ultra or Fold 6. So that's a really strange question in a lot of ways because the phones are so different. I mean, yeah, you have when you fold up the Galaxy Fold so that it's just like, the normal smartphone size. It's so different. It's so much thicker than the Galaxy S24 Ultra. It's so much slimmer. Like you can get your thumb to the other side a lot easier because that width is not there. But then when you open it up, it's a whole different experience as well that is not offered by the S24 Ultra. There's also no S Pen with this device. You don't get that. So those are very different phones for very different people who want things from their phones that maybe one phone can't provide. So yeah, I mean the fold is going to be for the person who loves consuming a lot of media content, or is a business person who's working with spreadsheets and Word documents all the time. That's where this is going to shine. Whereas the Galaxy S24 Ultra is going to be for people who just want that super powerful smartphone that does everything they could possibly ever want it to do and has that incredible camera system. That's one of the big controversial things with the Z Fold 6 here. These three cameras that you see here, the camera that you see here, and the camera that's inside here are all the same from not only the Galaxy Z Fold 5, but even the Galaxy Z Fold 4. That's right, there's been no changes to these cameras in the past 2 years. So that's a little controversial. So if your focus is photography, the S24 Ultra is definitely going to be the best thing to do. All right, so here we go. From Master Sports Kids is the special black back carbon fiber. That's actually a great question. So I asked Samsung about this while we were at the content capture session, and it is not. It is just textured to look like carbon fiber. It is not actually carbon fiber. So if you were thinking that getting that phone would make it more durable because you've got that really nice solid carbon fiber back, that's actually not true. It's just the normal glass that you would expect on the back of any of the other phones. It's just got that carbon fiber look to it. That being said, it looks really cool. Like if I was going to get one of these phones today, I definitely would be getting the carbon black model because it looks really sweet. All right, let's keep going here. So just so you know, if there's anybody joining the chat here, I'm answering questions about any devices that were launched at the Galaxy Unpacked today. So please feel free to throw anything that you want to know in the chat, and I will try to answer as many of them as I possibly can. So yeah, here we go from Chanders. How does the front display feel on the Fold 6 and also the weight compared to an S23 Ultra? This phone is heavy. It's thick. It's a heavy phone. I actually don't know how much heavier off the top of my head that it is from the S23 or the S24 Ultra, but I would say this is probably at least a few grams heavier. This is a heavy phone. And the front display, the Galaxy S24 Ultra is going to give you just so much more display to see. This is very thin. Actually, here, hold on one second. I have a uh, so just so you guys can see, this is the S24 Ultra, and this is the Fold. So you can see right there just how much bigger the S24 Ultra is in comparison to the Fold. So yeah, if you want a big display for when you're using the phone like a normal phone and not unfolded, the S24 Ultra is going to do so much better for you there. Yeah. Let's keep going here. So, as with other live streams, people from Android Authority are jumping in to ask questions as well. So, everyone say hi to Paul. Paul from we've also probably seen on the Android Authority YouTube channel is in the chat. So, if you want to say hi to him, he is here. So Paul is just, hey, what is your favorite colors of both the Flip and the Fold? So the carbon fiber black is definitely my favorite color for the Fold. For the Flip, I don't know. I kind of like the orangey yellowy color that they had. That's not really my aesthetic. I wear a lot of black, so the yellow phone is probably not the one that people would expect. But I thought it looked when you saw all the phones sitting together, all colors, that was the one that jumped out at me the most. And Lon, who is also here with me, who was filming all the video stuff that you saw on our channel over the past couple of hours from the Unpacked event, who did an amazing job. So be sure to give him props. He also loved that golden yellow color. That one was the one that jumped out at us the most. Okay, let's see other questions here. Okay, so there's a question here. Do you know how long the Battery Watch Ultra, or the Galaxy Watch Ultra's battery is? So we only know what Samsung has told us so far. So let me break this down for you a little bit. So Samsung says that the Galaxy Watch Ultra's battery should last for 2 full days without a charge. And that includes outdoor workouts, and that includes the always on display being on the entire time. So that seems reasonable to us because the Galaxy Watch Ultra's battery is the exact same size as the battery that's in the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. And during our testing of the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, we found that that watch lasted about 2 days. So, given that it has the same size battery, I would say that you can probably go ahead and assume that Samsung is telling the truth and the Galaxy Watch Ultra's battery should last for about 2 days. Now, there is a low power mode for the Galaxy Watch Ultra that allegedly will make it last for 100 hours, which is about 4 days. So if you can live with the low power mode, you can make it last for a pretty long time. 4 days is enough to go on a hike, go like a backpacking trip and not be anywhere near a charger and still have your watch be functional the entire time you're away. So I think that's pretty cool. But keep in mind that the processor inside the Galaxy Watch Ultra is different from the processor inside the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. And the processor could be better and more battery efficient. So we may even see better battery life than we saw on the Watch 5 Pro. But until we have more time to actually test that all out, I can't really say that for sure. All right, let's see here. So we have a question here from Triniand Verde 93. How do you think the Flip 6 will perform for gaming with the new vapor chamber? That is an excellent question, and we actually are working on an article already to answer this question. So the Galaxy, hold on, I have it right here. The Galaxy Z Flip 5 from last year does this phone. The Galaxy Z Flip 5 does not have a vapor chamber. There's no cooling system inside whatsoever. So the phone gets pretty hot when you're pushing it hard. And when the phone gets hot, when you're using all that power, that brings the performance way down. This phone, the Galaxy Z Flip 6, has a vapor chamber. So this is the first time ever that there's been a vapor chamber inside this form factor. Theoretically, that should make this phone better for gaming than the previous model. Once again, we can't say that for certain yet because the phones just came out today, so we haven't had time to test them. But just judging by the fact that there is a vapor chamber now when previously there wasn't, I can almost guarantee that performance, especially for gaming, is going to be better on this phone than it was on the previous generation. How much better? That's a question that we don't know. But yesterday, I actually did a bunch of benchmarks on the Galaxy Z Flip, the Galaxy Z Flip 5, the one from last year. I did a bunch of benchmarks on that yesterday to prepare for that article so that we have some things to compare it to once we have our benchmarking done for this one. So yeah, get excited for that. We'll probably have that up in the next few days or maybe the next week or so. All right. Let's see here. What other questions do we have? Okay, Mohammed Baraka asks, is the upgrade from the Fold 5 to the Fold 6 worth it? I'm assuming you mean the Fold because you just put F, so I'm assuming you mean the Fold. Um, the so the problem with the Fold 5 and the Fold 6 is that once again, the cameras haven't changed. And the hardware obviously has been upgraded. This has a more powerful processor and it's got a new design. You know, you've got these flat edges on the sides that look very different from the rounded edges on last year's model. So here we go. Here, this is to give you an idea of the difference here. This is These are the edges for the Galaxy Z Fold 5 from last year. Very curvy, very rounded. And then you look at those same edges on this one, and you see very flat, almost iPhone-like edges. So you've got a bunch of differences there, but the cameras haven't been upgraded at all. That means that this phone, the Flip 6, or sorry, the Fold 6 from launch today, is $100 more for the same camera system on this one. So I don't know. That seems kind of shaky to me. I don't know how Samsung thinks it can charge $100 more for a phone when it literally hasn't updated anything about the cameras. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about pre-ordering these phones. All right. We have a person, Angel, who just asked, how is the sound quality on the Buds Pro 3? I didn't have much time to test them out, but from what I did test out, they sounded amazing. I didn't have any testing systems. I wasn't comparing them from other earbuds. I just know that they sounded really good when I put them in. And so, yeah, I'm I was impressed. I would like those earbuds for myself. I also love the lights. Like I feel like those are so cool. It's kind of like cyberpunky. I could just imagine getting on the subway with your earbuds lighting up and people like being like, what, that's cool. You know, so I really like that aesthetic. I thought that was a cool touch. As far as the sound goes, I thought they sounded great, but I can't really give more specifics than that because I didn't have long enough to try them out. Uh, And then Kenneth Moody also asking about the Buds Pro, what the quality and the comfort. I thought they were very comfortable. Putting them in my ears, I didn't feel like any stress. I didn't feel there was any sometimes you put in earbuds and you can feel like your ear canal like kind of stretching to accommodate. That didn't feel like that. They felt very comfortable, but I couldn't test how they stay because that's the big problem with earbuds that you put into your ears, with the tips is that, you move your head or you get sweaty because you're walking or working out or whatever, and they just fall out. I couldn't test that because I didn't have long enough time, and I don't think Samsung would appreciate it if I started shaking my head and their earbuds are flying all over the place. So I didn't get a chance to do that. But putting them in, they felt very, very comfortable. All right. Hamad Ablushi, do you feel the front screen is wider than the Fold 5? So I can show you this right here. So screen of the this is the screen of today's phone. So this is the Fold 6, and this is the Fold 5. So, I mean, it's not really that much wider. It's kind of the same. It's just that it looks a little different because of the new design, because of the new flat sides. But I mean, really, they're very similar. So this is the 5, and this is the 6. I mean, I feel like they look pretty much the same. But uh, yeah, I do think that the stepping away. So one thing that is different though is the amount of space that the um that the display can show, because now that they don't have these rounded corners, the display can actually be a little bit bigger. So it's going to be hard to tell on this screen, but there's more screen to see, even though the physical dimensions of the screen haven't gotten that much bigger. All right, another question from Mumrick. Is the Watch Ultra fast and snappy while switching between apps and widgets? It is 100%. It was so snappy. I don't know why it's taken this long for Samsung to create a watch processor that can really keep up with Wear OS, but it was so snappy. Swiping from, going to an app, starting a workout, swiping down the notifications, swiping through the apps, and then launching an app, everything was so zippy and so fast. But keep in mind that the Galaxy Watch 7 has the same processor. So you're going to see the same zippiness and the same speed and all that stuff and the same battery efficiency on the Galaxy Watch 7 that you'll see on the Galaxy Watch Ultra. So don't think that you need to get a Galaxy Watch Ultra to get that super fast processor, because a watch that is literally half the price has the exact same processor inside. So, but yeah, but to answer your question specifically, it was way faster and way better. All right. Okay, here's a great question from Trini and Verde, who asked the previous question. Thanks for answering. Based on the limited data and testing so far, who would you recommend these devices to as an upgrade, i.e., few-year older iOS device, Galaxy Flip 3, etc.? If you're on a phone that is 2 years old, so if you're on a Flip 4 or a Fold 4, these are going to be great upgrades. And the reason they're going to be great upgrades is because you're going to have that better processor. You're going to have slightly bigger displays because the bezels have shrunk down a little bit. You're also going to have a less visible crease. This would be really hard to show on this live stream, so it's probably not going to work out so well. But the crease between the, I guess you can see that. That's pretty good actually with the lighting like that. So the top one is the crease that you would see on the Galaxy Z Flip 5. And then you can see underneath it, the Z Flip 6, the crease is so much less apparent. So, I mean, if you're a person who's really sick of seeing the crease in the middle of their Galaxy Z Flip phone, the Flip 6 is going to have that, is definitely going to have a reduced crease. But once again, the only thing you're gonna have to keep in mind is that if you have a Fold 4 and you upgrade to a Fold 6, you're not gonna see better photography at all. You're gonna get the same exact camera system. At least with the Flip, you get better cameras. This has been upgraded to a 50 megapixel main camera. So this is gonna produce much better camera results than previous generations. All right. All right, what do we got here? Definitely, while I'm taking a quick break from answering questions here, thanks so much for hanging out and asking all these great questions and watching this live stream. It's really cool to see so many people here and hanging out. It's great. I'm always excited to do this. All right, here we go. Another question from Mumrick. Do the lights on the Buds Pro serve any real purpose? So this is actually a great question. And we asked Samsung the same thing, and it didn't really answer the question for us. So we asked Samsung, we said, are the lights on the Galaxy Buds Pro just for aesthetics, or do they tell you something like battery life, for example? Like, do the lights indicate how much battery is left over? And Samsung's answer to us was very vague and very strange. It didn't really answer the question. So I can't say for sure what the lights do or don't do because Samsung won't tell us. If I had to guess, I would say that they are just for aesthetics. I would say that they light up when certain things happen. For example, maybe you get a phone call, it'll light up and say that there's a phone coming, phone call coming in, but I don't think they actually do anything to tell you about like what's going on with the earbuds, like battery life or sound quality or volume control or anything like that. Because if they did do that, Samsung would have just told us. They would have just been like, oh yeah, these are what the lights do, these are what they mean. But the fact that Samsung was really vague about their answer means that they probably don't do anything besides look cool. All right. Another question from Kenneth Moody. Will you say the Watch Ultra is better choice because of potential to go longer between charges over a Watch 7 for regular daily use? So yes. So if battery life is your primary concern, the battery inside the Galaxy Watch Ultra is something like 40% bigger than the battery inside the larger version of the Galaxy Watch 7. So automatically you're going to have more battery life on the Galaxy Watch Ultra because the battery itself is so much larger. The question is, though, is how much more battery is that going to be? Like, how much more life is that actually going to be? Is it going to be a few hours? Is it going to be an extra day? Is it going to be somewhere in between? We're not quite sure yet because we haven't had a chance to test it out. So, what you're going to have to say is you're going to have to think to yourself, okay, the Galaxy Watch Ultra is $650 and the Galaxy Watch 7 starts at $300. So, you have to ask yourself, is the chance of having a few extra hours or maybe even one extra day of battery life worth spending twice as much money on the watch? Because if you don't think so, if you think that's too expensive, the Galaxy Watch 7 is going to have almost all the features of the Galaxy Watch Ultra and probably decent battery life, but it's just not going to be as much. So you really have to say to yourself, how much is that potential of extra battery life worth to me? Is it worth $100? Is it worth $200? Is it worth $350? Because that's what you're going to be spending. You're going to be spending $350 more for that watch. So that's the question you have to ask yourself. All right, let's keep going here. I think there was another question from. Uh, there's a question from Mohammed Baraka about the crease. So I already showed you the crease on the very apparent crease on the flip phone. So once again, the flip up here, if you can see that, this is the older flip, this is the newer flip. You can see that the crease is much more apparent in the older flip than in this one. So let's show you the folds here. So this is the, sorry, let me just get this all situated here. So this is the old fold. So that's the old one. And then I don't know if I'm gonna have enough screen real estate to show it off here. And this is the current one. You can't really tell, I'm sorry. It's kind of hard to show this on camera, but they're about the same. Like I'm looking at them right now, they're about the same. The difference between the flips is apparent. Like the Flip 6 has a much lower, lower visibility crease. Whereas I feel like the ones on the fold are pretty much the same. I don't see much of a difference here at all. So yeah, if you were hoping that your new fold would have a lower crease than the previous generation, I don't think it does. Okay. Oh, okay. This is the question I'm super excited about. So this is a question from Kenneth Moody. Can you use the Ring and the watch together as sister devices, or only one or the other? I'm so glad you asked this, Kenneth, because this is a great question. Okay, so Samsung is specifically designing the Ring to work with your watch. So what Samsung envisions here is that you have your smartwatch, right? And you use that for the tracking things that the smartwatch does the best. And then you have your ring on your finger on the same wrist, and the ring does its tracking things. So just as a real world example here, let's say you go for a run. Your run should be tracked by your watch. Your watch is going to have GPS. It's going to do a better job tracking your run just overall. It's going to give you better health metrics. So use your watch to track your run. So you do your run, you're tracking with the watch. While you're running, your ring isn't tracking anything. Your ring knows, because it's connected to your Galaxy smartwatch, your ring knows that the watch is tracking. So it's like, I don't need to do this. I'm just going to stay off. So it saves battery that way. Then when you're done with your run, you sit down on the bench at the park and you're relaxing and your heart rate's going down. You're not actually doing anything. Your watch will stop tracking your heart rate and the ring will start tracking. So they're handing off tracking things that way. And Samsung says this can reduce battery life on both devices by up to 30%. So you could be getting much better battery life by having the two devices on rather than just having one or the other. So yes, the devices are not only going to work together, but Samsung has specifically designed them to work better together than they do apart. So highly recommend that if you already have a Galaxy smartwatch, that you invest in the Galaxy Ring because they're going to work together really well. All right. This is a question from Joshua Toolman. I don't like wearing a smartwatch, but would love to track my fitness. Will the Galaxy Ring be a good option, or is it like the Aura Ring that doesn't do fitness tracking, workout tracking very well? So, this is also a great question. If you don't want a smartwatch, the Ring is going to do some of what a smartwatch would do. For example, the Ring has no vibration and it has no sound. So you're not going to get any notifications on your Ring. If you were hoping to get some notifications, or if you're hoping that the Ring would buzz you when you got a notification, that's not going to happen. The Ring has no ability to do that. And as far as health tracking goes, the Ring is going to track your steps, your heart rate just throughout the day, your sleep, walking, and running. That's it. There are no other health tracking elements to the Ring after those bunch. So if you were hoping to use the Ring to track, cycling, skiing, swimming, Pilates, working, strength training, working out with dumbbells, whatever, like all that stuff, the Ring will not track. It's only going to be walking, running, steps, heart rate, and sleep. So if you are okay with having that simple of a collection of things to track, the Ring is going to do just fine for you. But if you want something more robust, unfortunately, the best thing to do is either a smartwatch or a fitness tracker. Those are still going to be the best options for that. Um, but yeah, I think I want to call out because in the beginning of your question you said I don't like wearing a smartwatch. So I want to point out that one thing the Ring does better than a smartwatch is for sleep tracking. And the reason is because you don't have to wear the watch. The watch, a lot of people don't like wearing watches when they sleep because they feel like it gets in the way. Maybe the pressure on their wrist, they don't like it, or it just prevents them from falling asleep. So a lot of people don't like using them. So they take them off and put it on the charger, and then they don't get any sleep data. The Ring is going to solve that problem. I wore the Ring. So the Ring weighs 3 grams. If you need an idea of how small that is, a penny weighs 3 grams. So this thing it's basically non-existent. Once you put it on your finger, you forget it's even there. So sleeping with the Galaxy Ring on will do a lot better for you than if you have a smartwatch on, because you're not even going to know it's there. It's just going to be like, oh, falling asleep, got my Ring on. Get your sleep tracking when you wake up in the morning. All right, another question from Mumrick. Personal taste question, favorite color option for the watches. Okay, so the Galaxy Watch Ultra comes in 3 colors. I believe it's a silver, a gray, and then a gold, I think are the 3 colors there. Uh, they're all kind of boring. Like they're pretty standard watch colors. So I would probably just go with the silver or the gray, the neutral ones. The bands are where the colors really come in for the Galaxy Watch Ultra. Obviously, there's the orange band that looks exactly like the Apple Watch Ultra 2's band. I mean, I didn't have an I don't I'm not an Apple guy, so I don't have an Apple Watch. I don't have an iPhone. I don't have any of that stuff. So when we got to the event, I really wished I had brought an Apple Watch Ultra 2 because I want to hold the bands next to each other. I feel like Samsung just bought the Apple Watch Ultra 2 band and then snapped it onto the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2. It's basically the same color. So yeah, that's where you're going to get the character of the watch is through your band choices. And keep in mind that the way you connect your band to your Galaxy Watch Ultra is totally proprietary. So you can't use a normal band for a normal watch that you've bought at a store. You also can't use any of the bands that you've already got from your previous or current Galaxy Watch. You have to buy all brand new bands for your Galaxy Watch Ultra because the new snapping mechanism that snaps the bands on is completely new. So the only way you can get them is from Samsung, and you only have those choices. So keep that in mind. For the Galaxy Watch 7, though, the green is super cool. Like they've got this cool, like dull green. It looks almost like a greenish gray. I thought it was super classy. I think that the Galaxy Watch 7 in green looks really cool. And the green comes in both sizes. So even if you want the smaller one or the bigger one, doesn't matter. There's green for both of them. So highly recommend the green. Let's see. Joshua Tolman has another question. It sounds perfect for what I want it for. Does it have to be used with a Galaxy device, or can I use it with my Pixel? Joshua Tolman, I believe you're asking about the Ring. Yes, so the Ring. So your question is, can you use the Galaxy Ring with any other phone like a Pixel? And the answer is yes. There are a few features that you're going to miss out on, though. So one of them is going to be features that are based on Galaxy AI. For example, when the ring tracks your health data, it'll aggregate that data and then examine it and give you tips, like things that you should be doing better. Maybe you should take more steps, or maybe you didn't sleep well the night before. Here's a bunch of suggestions of things like that. That's all powered through Galaxy AI. So those features will not happen on a ring connected to a phone that is not a Galaxy AI powered phone. There's also a gesture, which is like a pinch. So you go like you have the ring here, and you go like this, and then it connects to your smartphone, and you can control your smartphone that way. And there are two things you can do with that. You can take a photo, or you can dismiss an alarm. So you go like this and snap a photo on your camera that's over here, or you go like this and you can turn off your alarm. Those are features that'll only work on Galaxy smartphones. Pretty much everything else, though, is going to work on any phone that can install the Samsung Health app, which is going to be most Android phones. So if you want to know if the ring's going to work for you, get your Android phone, fire up the Play Store, and try to install the Samsung Health app. If the Samsung Health app installs on your phone, you're good to go. You can use the ring. You can track your steps, track your sleep, track all that stuff. You're just not going to have the little pinch gesture thing, and you're not going to have the Galaxy AI stuff. Okay. So how are we doing on time here? Oh, so we're 30 minutes in. So we've got time for about maybe three or four more questions. So if you guys got any last minute questions you want to add in, throw them in the chat now, and I will get to them as best I can. So here is a question from Bushna QM. Are there any new AI features compared to the S24 series? So yes, there are a few that are coming to the Fold and the Flip first. However, all the features that are announced for all the Galaxy AI features that are coming to the Flip and the Fold are also coming to older phones. Samsung confirmed that today. We don't know when, probably in the next month or so, but for those of you that want the technical details, One UI 6.1.1 is what's on this phone what's on this phone right here. So One UI 6.1.1 comes pre-installed on the Fold and the Flip. One UI 6.1.1 is coming to all other devices that are already running One UI 6.1. So if you had that, you're going to get these features anyway. As far as the Galaxy AI features that are coming, there's only a few. There's the circle to search feature, which does math for you. And then there's the what was the other one? What was the other big one that they announced? I think it was more just like health insight data. Yeah, there really weren't that many, but it doesn't even matter because if you think to yourself, I'm going to buy the Flip or the Fold because I want that Galaxy AI feature, you don't need to because it's going to come to the existing phones that you already have anyway. All right, another question here from Kenneth Moody. Any new notable features for Samsung Health app not covered or talked about heavily in the presentation? No, not really. Samsung just told us, the things that Samsung announced at the event itself are the same things that Samsung announced for us. The insights and the new energy score. Those are the two big things that Samsung is bringing to the Samsung Health app. Energy score is pretty cool. So if you already are a Fitbit user, you have a similar feature that gives you a score every day when you wake up to give you an idea of how active you should be. And if you're a Garmin fan, you already have Garmin doing their own thing, which is called body battery. So this is really just Samsung kind of catching up with the competition. Yeah, so energy score is cool. You wake up in the morning and you think to yourself, oh man, I don't feel like I slept that well. Maybe I shouldn't do my workout today, or maybe I should do a less of a workout because I didn't get enough sleep. Fire up your phone, check your energy score, and it'll tell you. It'll say you have an energy score of 70 today. That's kind of low. You should probably cut back on your workout. Or you wake up and it says energy score is 95. You should take on the day. Go do 20 workouts. So that's a really cool feature that's coming to Samsung Health. But yeah, there are no secret features that Samsung didn't launch on stage at the event today. It's all the same stuff. All right, only a couple more questions to go here. Mohammed Baraka, what about the Ring's color collection? The Ring has three colors. Two of them are matte. One is titanium black, which is a matte black, titanium silver, matte silver, and then they have a titanium gold, which is glossy. So that looks more like a traditional gold ring. My favorite one was the black one. I thought it looked really classy. The matte black always looks classy as far as I'm concerned. The gold was too gold. I thought it was too shiny. It's shiny enough that like if I had it on right now and the light right here, right in front of my face, it would be like reflecting light off of it was really glossy, shiny gold ring. If that's what you want, if you want that flashy look, then the gold is definitely the best for you. But if you want your ring to just kind of be, you know, kind of not invisible, but just kind of like there and not really calling attraction to your hand, the matte black one is definitely the best one to go. All right, another question from Mumrick. Extent of the gesture controls on the Galaxy Ring. Oh, there's only two. Samsung hasn't really planned out what kind of gesture controls it's going to actually want to do with the ring. There's only two for now, which is the pinch. You do the pinch like this, and you can take a photo on your connected phone, or you can pinch and dismiss alarms. Samsung told us that it has lots of ideas for things that it could do for the pinching, but unfortunately, those are the only two things that are actually going to work when you buy the ring. Just off the top of my head, you could do maybe starting a timer. You could do a triple pinch, and that starts a timer for 5 minutes or something like that, or doing like another triple pinch to dismiss that timer. I can think of a lot of things that you could do with just a quick tap like that. But unfortunately, when you buy the ring, it's only going to have those two: turning off alarms and snapping a photo. Okay, let's see. I think I got time for one more question or maybe two more questions. So let's bang these out real quick. Mumrick has another question. I swear I heard the ring doesn't work on anything other than Galaxy devices. So I want to make this one clear because we actually reached out to Samsung because we were also confused. Just to give you a little bit of behind the scenes knowledge here, Samsung, we had a Q&A with them 2 weeks ago where they said, ask us any of the questions you want to know about the ring and we'll answer them. And we asked them, we said, can you use the ring with any phone other than the Galaxy phone? And they said, yes, as long as you can install the Samsung Health app, you're good to go. And we said, great. So then a few days ago, Samsung sent us the spec sheet, and on the spec sheet, it specifically said must be connected to a Galaxy phone. So we said, well, which is it? One of these has to be true and one of these has to be false. So we reached out to Samsung and we said, what is actually happening here? And then Samsung reaffirmed that yes, it will work with any phone that can download the Samsung Health app. So you're hearing it from Samsung twice now. It'll work on any phone as long as that phone can install the Samsung Galaxy Health app. So, like I said, get your phone, go to the Play Store, try to install the Samsung Health app. If it installs, the ring will work. All right, one more question here. Does the Z Fold 6 have the anti-reflective coating on the screen? So I know what you're talking about there. You're talking about the Galaxy S24 Ultra. The display of the Galaxy S24 Ultra has this really cool anti-reflective coating that makes it so when the light hits it, it's not nearly as reflective, so it works better in direct sunlight. And the Galaxy Z Fold 6 does not have this. Unfortunately, if you want that anti-reflective coating, you're stuck with just this one phone. And you can even see it here. Let's see it in the light there. So you can see, I guess you can't really, oh, there you go. See, look at that. Look at the difference between the light reflecting in the two phones. You can see how the anti-reflective coating of the Galaxy is a lot better. So yeah, unfortunately, if you want that anti-reflective coating, you only have one choice, which is S24 Ultra. So sorry about that. Okay, guys, that's about all the time I have for this live stream. Thank you again so much hanging out with me. This has been super fun. It's always great to get all these amazing questions and to interact with you guys directly. So look forward to more live streams from Android Authority coming up soon. We've got a lot of big launches. Be sure to put a pin in your calendar for August 13th. That is the confirmed launch date of the Made by Google event, where we expect to see the Pixel 9 series. We expect to see the new Pixel Fold. We expect to possibly see a new Pixel Watch, and even more stuff could possibly be on the way. So we're definitely going to be doing a live stream for that one. So stay tuned for that. And there might be something happen in between then and now. So yeah, thanks again for hanging out with me. And I will see you guys